Mune Gatame, chest hold. Okay? From that, we can do a whole lot of other cool stuff. All right? So let's look at a real basic concept of it. Remember also, new guys and newcomers before, always knees up, feet on the mat, because he can bridge, he can turn, he can shrimp. He has mobility now. If he just lays there flat, he has no mobility. All right, so basic concept here. Knees, knee under the shoulder here, knee under about the hip, underhook here, grab here, suck him in, you can grab, but my hips are low, my knees are wide. My hips are very low, okay? I make chest contact, but I also want to suck him into me and ride him, okay? I'm going to hold him here for an extended period of time. So I'm going to start, this is the basic hold, all right? Remember, I'm blocking the neck here, keeping him here, and I may have to flatten that, I may have to sit through, whatever it is, okay? But I want to make sure that I can control him and ride him. So I'm just kind of semi-fight. And I just stay with the guy, okay? And it's a good idea to just ride him and stay with him. I always try to keep a knee into his ribs, but I always try to keep a knee underneath his shoulder too. And notice I'm not way over here, I'm leaning back, my weight's in my hip, okay? Now I may have to flatten out. If I do, I can flatten out, whatever it may be, sit through, ride him, come back up and control him. But that's the basic hold. Everybody knows that pretty good. This will win more matches for you than any other pin, in my opinion. And I think it's one of the strongest holds. That's why I teach you is the base hold in jiu-jitsu and judo. Okay? So that's the basic. All right? Anybody have any problems with that one? Everybody's pretty good at it. Semi-good at it. Okay? Let's work a variation of it, which we'll jump on and start doing this. Is Yoko Shiho Gatame side four-corner hold. Okay? This one has a lot of variations to it. Kind of a cool move. We'll show you a couple that I like here. The basic concept is here, guys, is when you're on the knees like this, we start out at Mune Gatame. This is great. Keep the arm hooked under the neck. Okay, reach through the legs. Okay, and just grab through the middle and hold. Okay, and that's the basic concept of it. All right, you can flatten out whatever. I like to, as a variation, instead of grabbing this way, I like to grab this way and lock his leg to me. That way, he keeps it from shrimping in, and I really take his stability away from him. So just hold them like this is the way I particularly prefer. But this is the standard way in judo, and I really think this is a better one, personally. So do them both, okay? So here's your basic start, okay? And this is the basic start. You can flatten out, sit through, whatever you want, okay? You may even just have your hand here. Some people grab the ankle. Some people grab, whatever they can grab. But just grab the bottom of his pants, his apron, belt if you can reach it. But you just park them there, okay? But again, I like to grab that to keep him from doing it. Let's work on that a little bit. Go both sides, and he'll do some on you. It's the basic hold. We're not going any past, just real basics tonight, okay? Let's work on that one. And we're going to do that, and then jump right to the next one, because we're going to have a whole lot of pins tonight. It's a lot of basic skills. So pin each other, do it a few times, try to wrestle around, get away a little bit. But again, work on the skills, fundamental skills. And have fun with it. Right? And Gatame is to hold in place or to lock in place. So when I do this, a lot of people make the mistake of not controlling the arms and shoulders. And I don't want you to be that. I want you to have that. Again, the small things make big things happen. So when I do this, I like to underhook and I like to scoop and keep sucking them into me. All right, so underhook here, grab the belt and suck it in tight to him and just ride him. Okay? See, my hips are low. I can be flat on him, whatever I am, but I'm just riding him here, pulling his chest into me. Okay? So I'm just constantly pulling in. This is really important to be able to do. A lot of guys just grab any old way. They just grab there, that's good enough. His arms are too free. He can bridge, he can pop out of it. What I want to do is grab it and suck it in and kind of take his arm strength away from him, like doing this. Okay? I like to come off the side. Some people come directly over the head. That's your personal preference and opportunity, whatever knocks, okay? I like to come to the side because when I do this, when I start, I can do a lot of things from here. I can probably start shifting and controlling and keep working and start working around, so it gives me opportunities. So I'm at an angle to him a bit. But notice my hips are really low, and I'm not like way up here high on him. I'm back here and I'm sucking him into me. See how my lower chest is really up here on his shoulder up here. And my hips, my weight's way back in my hips. So when I flatten out on him, I can be back down here and ride him pretty tight. And it's a really strong hold, okay? That's the basic of it. So we're going to underhook, suck him into you constantly, heavy hips, and just be mobile, You have to be really mobile in this, but you can really stick in here. This, I think, is one of the strongest pins ever invented. And it's very variable because you could go through a lot of submission holds from there too. So let's work on the basics, okay? Depends on what you have to do and how flexible you are. So let's go ahead and work on using your hips now. You might not always have your hips real heavy to the mat. You might have to pop them up high. When you do that, suck them in tighter, and so your hips are not really the fulcrum here, the pressure. Use your chest into his upper chest as the pressure onto his body. So pop it up here like this. See, like this, and keep the pressure on his upper chest when you're riding him. Okay? And that'll keep him now. Shift back and forth. But see, just kind of how like this, you can just stay with him. The idea is to keep him there. So don't be stuck on one position to lay there and pin the guy. Have a real mobile base. If a strong base, but have a mobile one. Okay? Everybody see what I'm doing there? I'm shifting up high like this, you know. I may have to shift back here, different positions. But keep riding them and keep them down. All right? Work on that in a bit. And we'll shift to another pin here. Thank you, sir. Again, real basic. Throw his arm across his face like this, but I'm going to put my knee right up under his shoulder and on my toe, and I'm posting out here. My toe is in a direct line from the shoulder, so I get a good straight post here, okay? I have a good strong base. That's what I want, a good base. This knee's leaning into him, and I just underhook here like this, and I just ride him, okay? Now, if I want to apply the choke, I can really work the choke here. It's arm triangle or Kata Gatame shoulder choke from here, but this is a good hold. Now this is the basic application of it. Just holding him and riding him, okay? Now if I have to sit through, I can just adapt to it like that. I can shift back up, keep him there. You might even have to keep working around it. A lot of guys will apply pressure and apply the choke also. To apply it better, you've got the Kata Gatame here. If I keep working in a circle here, keep working in here, and then I can apply the choke. The knee is driving in here, and my forearm is right here on his far carotid. What I'm doing, I'm pushing my shoulder and head with his arm into this side, and I'm catching my forearm into this carotid. I'm creating a nice Kata Gatame or shoulder choke from this position. So here's the basic, just drive my head right into him, and I can create the choke. A good square grip or gable grip under his head, and just lock the guy. Or I can just stay there with him, okay? Or I can just, without hurting, just sit through and ride him there, okay? So all those are Kata Gatame. But the basic way is when you are up on one knee and posting out here. That's the basic way. A lot of people don't teach that anymore, and I don't know why, but that's a good position. It's a good hold. It's also a good setup for a choke, really nice choke. And a lot of nice setups for the Kata Gatame from there too, or the Kata Gatame choke. Want to try it? Okay, let's work on the basics. Get both.